At dawn, the rooster crows announcing the start of a new day. A shed door creaks open gently. Yawning widely, he takes a deep breath of fresh air, then rubs the sleep from his eyes, looking towards the day ahead. Energized, Yankai grabs a broom and declares his status as a trial disciple. The rooster, unimpressed, kicks up dust, dismissing his proclamation. Reflecting on his lackluster progress over 3 years, Yankai acknowledges his mediocrity compared to his peers, who now train with masters and gain renown. Resolved to endure, Yankai remains in the sect under the guise of a humble sweeper, persevering through the brutal rivalry among disciples. Silhouettes clash, the strong dominate. A lone figure observes, acknowledges the brutal sect law, survival of the fittest, a nature's decree without mercy. Comradeship is non-existent here. Progress demands sacrifice. Only by surpassing others, by treading over the fallen, can one earn ascension. A senior disciple lays down the rule: 3 years of trial for new recruits. Meanwhile, trial disciples are cared for, their focus solely on training. Yankai sweeps, lost in thought. 3 years to surpass others or face demotion, an arduous journey for the few trial disciples amongst thousands. Yankai ponders his hardships, aware that life's struggles may lead to hunger and neglect, a reality he faces even as a floor sweeper. He reaffirms his commitment to his chosen path, determined not to abandon his journey halfway. Yankai encounters a group of peers, recognition mixed with disdain in their voices. Their smirks reveal unspoken judgments, leaving him silently defiant amidst the veiled mockery. Yankai is recognized by a group of disciples who note his lingering at a modest stage of development. They realize he's eligible for another challenge due to the time elapsed since his last, contemplating the idea with a mix of enthusiasm and skepticism about the necessity of their numbers. Confrontation ensues. The leading disciple goads Yankai to leave, reinforcing the divide. Yet, Yankai grips his broom, meeting the challenge with a restrained smile despite the scorn. Unfazed by the mockery, Yankai sits in meditation, channeling his energy to recover and strengthen his chi, revealing a hint of a tranquil yet determined spirit beneath the surface. Peers question Yankai's meditation efforts, mocking his resilience. Despite their scorn, he smiles, undeterred and focused on his inner strength. Amid concentration, a sudden noise startles Yankai, disrupting his meditation. Flustered, a round bird crashes into a branch nearby, its own tranquility shattered. The Lingxiao sect's morning bell tolls thrice, heralding a new day as Yankai looks on with keen eyes, ready for the day's trials. As the sect gathers, a celebration begins, with disciples tossing their hats in exhilaration. Yankai stands composed, holding onto his broom, a silent vow to his path. A fellow disciple taps his shoulder, acknowledging his resolve. Yankai, with a subtle smile, grasps the hand, acceptance mingling with anticipation. Eager disciples clamor for Yankai's attention, each boasting they'll best him quickly, their bravado thinly veiling the competitiveness that thrives within the sect. A disciple warns Yankai to honor his own rule. Unperturbed, Yankai smiles confidently and casually tosses his hat skyward, his action leaving his peers agape. The broom snaps, laughter erupts. Yankai jests about today's battle, easing the tension with humor. A jealous peer curses Yankai's fortune. This contrasts with another disciple's admiration for Yankai's unexpected progress in cultivation. The Lingxiao sect's hierarchy is outlined. Trial disciples are at the bottom, progressing to normal, seated, elite, and ultimately core disciples. Elite disciples represent the sect's top potential, while core disciples are seen as future leaders. One disciple realizes another has yet to achieve seated status with a master. A young disciple eagerly commits to his master's guidance, demonstrating the long fist technique, an essential skill for novices in the Lingxiao sect. A young disciple practices the long fist technique under his master's tutelage, but is reminded that while beneficial for training the body, it lacks substantial combat strength, demonstrated as he receives a firm strike from his opponent. In a tranquil forest clearing, Yankai stumbles upon a mysterious figure, dappled in sunlight. Looming above her, a hand extended, the scene hints at an unexpected encounter, one of potential rescue, or perhaps a prelude to a deeper narrative unfolding. Startled by a powerful thrust, the young disciple ducks in panic, barely evading the oncoming blow. Tension grips him as he faces his assailant, the fear evident in his wide-eyed expression. Startled by an unexpected attack, a disciple narrowly dodges a powerful strike, surprise and alarm reflected in his actions and wide eyes. Realizing he's been tricked, the young disciple grapples with frustration but steels himself to face the consequences of his oversight. Struck down by a swift punch, the young disciple grudgingly concedes to the superiority of his opponent's speed and skill, attributing his own resilience to a higher level of cultivation. A disciple concedes defeat to Yang Kai with a gesture of respect. Observers express disbelief and amusement at his obliviousness to Yang Kai's prowess. A confident Yang Kai internally justifies his victory, expecting his opponent's surrender as per sect rules. Demanding, again, the challenger readies himself. Yang Kai executes a fierce whip kick. The opponent, caught off guard, marvels at the novel application of the technique. Thwarted by a swift kick, the disciple is sent flying back. Defiantly, he rises, his demand for another round echoing with determination. Yang Kai's challenger declares ready for more, but as the fight goes on, onlookers comment on Yang Kai's tenacity and unexpected combat skill, suggesting his victory is imminent. A disciple cries out in panic, while another, observing the intense battle, shouts a frantic warning about the real danger of death, urging surrender to avoid fatal consequences. In the heat of a tense battle, a disciple realizes the surprising strength of his senior martial brother, reflected in both their focused glares and the aggressive clash of their weapons. A disciple takes a heavy blow, defeated and lying on the ground. His opponent looks on, acknowledging the victory with a silent, expressionless acknowledgement. In an unexpected twist, Yang Kai's mysterious opponent records the outcome of their duel on a scroll. Disciple on trial, Yang Kai fought normal disciple Zhou Jingjun won. The observer's gaze betrays a hint of intrigue or approval. In the shadows, members of the Lingxiao sect Shadow Division, under the Third Elder's command, meticulously document every event within the sect, including battle outcomes. These scribes ensure that disciples receive their due contribution points, tallying results monthly, maintaining order and accountability. A mysterious figure updates a scroll with Yang Kai's consecutive losses, recording the history of his trials. A scribe records Yang Kai's 147th loss, an unprecedented streak in Lingxiao sect's history. Defeated, he's demoted with a meager existence, yet inexplicably remains. The observer ponders this, musing it may be sheer obstinacy. Rising from beneath a tree, the young man is puzzled. He doesn't recall succumbing to unconsciousness there. Confusion lingers as he questions his unexpected awakening in that spot. Surprised at waking up unexpectedly in a different location, the young man wonders if a compassionate senior has assisted him, a kindness he's never experienced before. Complaining about the pain, the young man notices a mysterious vial in his hand and questions its purpose. Discovering an anticoagulant cream in his hand, the young man realizes its value far exceeds his entire month's earnings for sweeping floors. He's taken aback by the cream's pleasant fragrance, questioning its significance. Grateful for an unknown helper's generosity, Yang Kai vows to repay the kindness. Soon after, he resumes his duties, broom in hand, stepping into the light of a new day. A man stands before a window, battered and bruised, gazing outward with resolve. As he prepares to dress, the toll of his trials is revealed on his body, yet his spirit remains unbroken. A young man, covered in bruises, stands resolute. He unwraps a mysterious ointment and applies it to his wounds. The care brings a silent contemplation of the unexpected gift and the unknown benefactor behind it. Diluting anticoagulant cream, he muses on its diminished effect, yet cherishes the precious medicine, vowing to use it sparingly. Wrapped in a cloak, he wakes from a healing slumber, the gift of medicine lingering in his system. Tears well, gratitude and loneliness intertwine, solace and silent comradeship with his benefactor, yet to be known. The young man Yang Kai lies unconscious, a peaceful reprieve from battles past. Stirring to meet a new challenge, his spirit unyielding, he faces his adversary with determination. Struck and overpowered, defeat registers, yet his resolve remains unshaken. Frustrated, Zhou Dingjun unleashes his anger, but Yang Kai defies expectations, launching a surprise attack and changing the course of the battle. Zhou Dingjun lies defeated while Yang Kai, standing triumphantly, boasts confidently of his invincibility after overcoming himself. Amidst a storm of blows, Yang Kai's focus intensifies, his eyes reflecting a moment of clarity and the imminent counterattack he is about to unleash. Waking from a nightmare, the young man feels a touch of embarrassment. Suddenly realizing the time passed, he's shocked to discover he overslept by 4 hours. Emerging from his slumber, he's puzzled by the unusual lightness of a once heavy rock, questioning its sudden change. A young man is caught off guard by an unexpected and forceful burst of energy emanating from an ordinary item, setting the stage for unforeseen developments. A book drops, the young man looks on in surprise. Confused, he approaches with caution. As his hand nears, a strange energy pulses from the book. Puzzled by the blank pages, he can't tear a single one. Recalling its discovery in the Haifeng Mountains, he's amazed that the stone is actually a mysterious book. A young man contemplates the purpose of a wordless black book when suddenly words appear, promising a powerful body and divine technique, sparking a sense of intrigue and possibility. Startled by the energy emanating from the book, the young man is taken aback. With trepidation, he watches as the seemingly blank pages begin to reveal hidden text. Startled by the energy emanating from the book, the young man watches as words appear, revealing a prophecy of a golden body and divine technique. Realization dawns. The black stone that turned into a book relates to his dream. Contemplating the prophecy, he pricks his finger and lets a drop of blood fall onto the book, triggering a mysterious whirl of dark energy. His blood activates the book, unleashing a whirlwind of dark energy. An intense glow erupts, and he's encased in a golden radiance as the prophecy becomes reality, hinting at his transformation. Yang Kai's blood invokes a powerful reaction, revealing a skeleton encased in golden light. Then everything vanishes, leaving behind a swirling vortex of energy. Perplexed, Yang Kai feels mocked by a grinning skeleton emerging from the book's energy vortex. Defiantly, he retorts to the skeleton's perceived arrogance. Yang Kai's defiance is met with a burst of energy from the skeleton, enveloping him in a blinding light. Yang Kai grimaces under a surge of energy as a golden skeleton emerges. Taunting, defiant, he challenges it, only to be engulfed in a blinding radiance. Yang Kai's bones crackle with energy, transforming and enhancing his physical strength. As he steps out into the world, the power within him radiates outward, revealing the dawn of a stronger self. A powerful golden energy attempts to seize Yang Kai's consciousness, but with fierce determination, he resolves to resist its dominance. Moments later, he lies sprawled on the ground, exhausted yet unbowed under the expansive dusk sky. Confused, the man discovers his body no longer aches, pondering the mysterious Black Book's effect. Yang Kai feels a surge of unprecedented power in his body and notices his injuries have vanished, yet his tempered body remains at the same cultivation phase with no progression. Startled, Yang Kai searches for the vanished Black Book, which reappears suddenly. Yang Kai experiments with the book, discovering his control over its appearance with simple commands. Surprise registers on his face as he asserts control, marking a shift in his understanding of the book's mysterious powers. The young man, Yang Kai, considers the possibility that the material of the wordless Black Book might be a rare and powerful Rakshasa stone, formed from the life force of countless souls and capable of devastating consequences if discovered. Yang Kai reflects on his limited potential and the importance of training to protect his treasures. He contemplates that his struggles led him to the Lingxiao sect for training, and with the wordless Black Book in his hands, he resolves to unlock more than just the golden body within its pages. Yang Kai discovers the power of the wordless book, contemplating its ability to enhance his body with a technique that sparks a golden glow and a sensation of knowledge flowing into his mind. Yang Kai realizes the Black Book is the tempered body book, which offers simple yet profound training in striking and footwork. The book restricts training to the break of dawn, limiting it to 1 hour daily. Yang Kai realizes the day has turned to night and decides to retire to bed, where he quickly falls into a deep sleep. Yang Kai, invigorated by a newfound strength, steps into the dawn, ready to face his destiny. Yang Kai gleefully showcases his enhanced power with distinct striking forms, a symbol of his newfound strength and determination to forge ahead on his martial path. Yang Kai channels his energy, his skillful movements stirring the air. His footing shifts rapidly, unleashing his newfound power with precision. Yang Kai's training intensifies. He executes a precise hand technique, his energy surging. Suddenly, a rival feels the impact, his body crackling under the unseen force, caught off guard by Yang Kai's newfound might. Yang Kai acknowledges the long journey ahead, having mastered only a fraction of the tempered body book skills. Determined, he resolves to press on. Yang Kai channels his energy into a punch, its power reverberating through the air. Exhausted from training, he stops, realizing the sun is setting and the day is ending. Yang Kai pushes his limits, practicing intensely. His day ends with a satisfying exhaustion and a glimpse of the sunset, a symbol of his enduring spirit. A young man steps outside, surprised at the passage of time. An hour later, exhaustion from intense training sets in, and he falls into a serene sleep as night falls. Yang Kai experiences a sudden breakthrough in his cultivation, advancing to the fourth phase of tempered body after only an hour of practice, leaving him amazed at the power and efficiency of the tempered body technique. Yang Kai accidentally triggers a dark energy from the book. Its force overwhelms him, making him puke. Yang Kai reflects on the side effects of his intensive training, purging impurities with each new phase. Realizing the power of the tempered body book, he wonders about his potential for even greater improvement. A woman spots Yang Kai in the distance, her eyes widening in recognition. She whispers to herself, her interest piqued at the sight of him diligently sweeping. Yang Kai sweeps the ground with unwavering focus. A disciple notices and questions why he's fixated on one spot. Perched in a tree, a woman spies on him, dismissing him as odd. Yang Kai contemplates how to optimize his training time, since he can only practice with the tempered body book for 1 hour daily. As he ponders, the rhythmic tapping of his broom goes unnoticed by an eavesdropping disciple who is suddenly startled by a loud noise, leaving him dazed and confused. A woman observes Yang Kai's peculiar focus from a distance, considering his behavior strange. A disciple is surprised by Yang Kai's newfound strength, comparing it to hitting a wall, questioning Yang Kai's usual capabilities. Unaware of Yang Kai's enhancements, he decides to quickly depart. A disciple rushes off, realizing it's the 8th day, the time to check contribution points. The guild announces monthly points, and disciples swarm the logistics department, eager to learn their earnings. Yang Kai reflects on his recent string of losses and their impact on his contribution points. Realizing he hasn't made much progress, he resigns to continue his work as a floor sweeper. A disciple enters the contribution hall while an old man at the desk daydreams with a contented smirk, prompting the younger man to call him a perv and wonder about his daydreams. An old man indulges in a daydream, grinning to himself, as a disciple snaps him out of it, calling him Manager Meng. The old man, mildly disgruntled, responds to the young man's presence. Disturbed from his daydream, Manager Meng chastises the young disciple for interrupting his pleasant dream, emphasizing the importance of respecting elders. Manager Meng, with a smirk, asks if it's the usual for Yang Kai, who confirms it is. Handing over 10 silver pieces, Yang Kai completes the transaction while Meng contentedly relies on the paper. Yang Kai checks his contribution points with Manager Meng, lamenting his low savings and the inability to afford valuable herbs. Manager Meng teases Yang Kai about his slow accumulation of points for a marrow cleansing pill, jesting it would take countless years. Yang Kai, unfazed, smiles and inquires about the possibility of earning enough, to which Meng humorously responds that he'd have been long dead before that happens. Yang Kai questions why a valuable marrow cleansing pill is available in the contribution hall and not claimed by other disciples. Meng reveals it's his secret treasure, unknown to others. In a lighthearted exchange, manager Meng boasts about the marrow cleansing pill's price, earning his nickname Meng Bapi for his shrewd dealings. Yang Kai, determined, vows to save up enough points to purchase it. Manager Meng teases Yang Kai about his latest defeat. Yang Kai, annoyed by the insinuation, silently accuses Meng of taunting him as he walks away. Manager Meng advises Yang Kai to leave the Lingxiao sect, fearing he'll be beaten to death if he stays. Yang Kai responds solemnly, revealing he has nowhere else to go. Manager Meng mocks the idea of having a marrow cleansing pill, revealing it was a white lie to instill hope, surprising Yang Kai. The setting shifts to a serene Wumei town. Yang Kai walks through Wumei town, noticing his improved endurance and lack of fatigue, attributing this change to the effects of the golden body from his training. Yang Kai encounters antagonistic peers. Their exchange escalates, a hint of aggression flashing. The confrontation cools, Yang Kai's composed demeanor a silent rebuttal to the hostility. At Wumei Town's rice shop, a young man remarks on the presence of a Lingxiao sect disciple nearby. He casually observes that given the town's proximity to the sect, it's common to encounter its disciples here. Another man excitedly calls out to the lady boss. At the rice shop, the lady teases the young disciple about his monthly rice purchases, questioning if that's sufficient for his needs. He responds affirmatively, asking for a bag of rice. At the rice shop, the concerned lady boss questions the young disciple's eating habits, skeptical of his claim that one bag of rice a month, supplemented by hunting, is sufficient given his thin appearance. At the rice shop, an elderly man suggests giving old rice that can't be sold to the young disciple. The lady boss complies, joking about the extra nutrition provided by the weevils in the rice, much to the young disciple's polite protest. At the rice shop, the lady boss subtly helps the young disciple by providing extra rice under the guise of it being infested with weevils, but in truth, it's high-quality white rice. Grateful, the young man thanks her with respect, addressing her as Uncle He. At the rice shop, the kindly owner offers help to a young man in need, hinting at camaraderie in a tough world. Then a sudden altercation at the door catches everyone's attention. A young man is thrown out of the door, landing with an ouch. The shop's occupants turn toward the sudden commotion, confused by the disturbance. A commotion unfolds as an angry customer accuses the shop owner of selling poisonous rice that has harmed his brother, denouncing the business practices as life-threatening. A disgruntled customer confronts the shopkeeper, claiming the rice sold caused his brother's illness. The shopkeeper, taken aback, suggests a misunderstanding, but the customer angrily rejects the notion, blaming the rice for his brother's condition. A young man reacts with surprise as he intervenes in a brewing conflict, expressing disbelief at the aggressive confrontation unraveling before him. The shopkeeper, taken aback by the accusation, is speechless with concern. The young man promises to resolve the conflict by paying, addressing the older man as Uncle He. The owner, calm and smiling, reassures him that the rice he sold is not the cause of the brother's poisoning. The customer accuses Mr. He of selling poisonous rice, blaming him for his brother's sickness. Mr. He, taken aback, defends his integrity as a businessman, offering to cover medical expenses despite his innocence. The man's provocative claims escalate the confrontation as he questions Mr. He's morals, casting doubt amid rising tensions. The shopkeeper, uncertain, inquires the two brothers' intentions. A confident man assures the shopkeeper, asking the brothers to wait. Meanwhile, a young man inside the shop recognizes one of the brothers, alarmed by the recent encounter in the alleyway. The trio confronted a defiant group earlier, but tension rises as they encounter a smirking rival who seems to know more than he lets on. The rival taunts the poisoned member of the trio, suggesting a doctor visit was smarter than their current choice. Another member angrily vows to warn others about the rival's actions, hoping to prevent further deceit. Concerned about competition, the older man ponders recent interactions. The younger man ponders the implications, worried about their position in the face of rivalry. The rival smugly disregards the question, prompting an incensed response. A swift physical altercation ensues, but the rival's smirk reveals his unwavering confidence. The rival mocks the ill trio member, further inciting the group's frustration and anger. A conflict breaks out, underscoring the rival's nonchalant attitude as the others react heatedly. The trio reels from the rival's mockery, while the older man's exasperation with the situation grows. The younger man expresses regret over their lack of caution. In a heated moment, one of them confronts the rival, demanding his identity, which escalates into a clash of tempers. A confrontation unfolds as the rival reveals himself to be Su Mu, a disciple of the Lingxiao sect. The older man threatens future retribution, while the younger man is bewildered by the scripted dialogue, hinting at a deeper ploy at work. In the bustling street, the group decides to take a stand against Su Mu, fearing their reputation will suffer if they don't. As Su Mu leaves, they reluctantly concede they can't chase him due to the poisoned member's condition. The older man contemplates a lesson for the clothing shop, implying a plan for retaliation. The group resolves not to let the adversary depart without consequence, fearing damage to their reputation. The older man suggests using the incident to teach the clothing shop a lesson, hinting at a retaliatory scheme. The younger member cites an elder's teaching about teamwork in facing evil. Another asks for the identity of a man implied to be a fellow disciple, hinting at confusion within the group. The senior disciple introduces himself, boasting years of training under Lingxiao discipline. A younger member, unimpressed, cuts the small talk. They rally for justice in their town, affirming their resolve to cleanse the streets of scoundrels. The group's ire grows as Su Mu flaunts his sect's prowess. Dismissing them, he turns to leave. Determined, the younger man calls for his friend, indicating it's time to part ways with Su Mu. The tension is palpable as a mix of emotions plays across their faces. The group is perplexed by Su Mu's cryptic words. Realizing they have no grounds to detain him, they acknowledge his release with a mix of indignation and helplessness. The group's leader rallies the townspeople for support, seeking to repel the deceitful disciples with a united front. The crowd responds, charging forward with determination, ready to face the looming threat together. As the brawl continues, one individual desperately exclaims, "Not the face," while defending against an attack. In another scene, a character looks on in dismay, uttering, "Oh my God," hinting at the gravity of the unfolding violence. Amidst the chaos, a member of the trio is sent sprawling, the impact shown by his flailing limbs and expression of pain. The antagonist taunts his fallen adversary, offering more hits with a play on words, as the others look on, one seemingly dazed by the conflict. Amidst a heated exchange, one member scolds the antagonists for their scams, while another despairs over the townsfolk's hardships. They staunchly declare their intent to eradicate trouble from their home, suggesting divine justice is on their side. Determination is palpable as they contemplate retaliation. As the senior member's action appears excessive, worry and doubt surface among the younger members, questioning the morality of their response. As the group's scheme to close down Boss He's rice shop succeeds, they reflect on the severity of their actions and the impact it may have on his family's well-being. The realization of the potential consequences of their plan weighs heavily on them, sparking a moral debate about justice and responsibility. In a heated struggle, one yells defiantly, prepared to drag his opponent down with him. A calm figure questions the nature of their path. Tension rises as an ally debates the legitimacy of killing their foes, suggesting shared guilt or innocence in their fate. The senior disciple's ambiguous comment confuses the others. Frustration shows as they question the meaning of his words, with one member particularly puzzled, seeking clarification. Junior brother questions the senior's intimidating aura, querying his commitment to justice. The accused laughs it off, denying fear. When questioned about the morality of taking a life, he dismissively jests about the ease of killing someone inexperienced in such matters. Junior Marshall brother, let's go back to raise a bitch's son of a bitch. Wasn't the plan for me and the son of the son of the son of the bitch to come and show up just to vent against the son? You can even earn your affection hands-on use. You piece of shit son of a bitch, motherfucking trash of sorcery. The younger member calls out the brother's deceit, accusing him of fabricating their mission out of personal vendetta and not for righteous cause. The motive is personal attraction rather than seeking justice, revealing the plot was driven by emotion. In their outrage, the group confronts the younger member's underhanded motives, realizing that the mission was less about justice and more a personal vendetta, manipulating them for his own emotional gain. The deception unravels, questioning their actions and unity. In the aftermath, discussion turns to the promised reward, a hefty sum of silver. The senior member confronts the younger one about using devious tactics, while the latter justifies it with the value of their victory. The wise elder admonishes him, pointing out that such behavior could tarnish their reputation. Despite the apparent success, there's an undercurrent of concern about the cost of their actions. The group decries the antagonist's actions for damaging their reputation. A member confronts the leader, questioning the ethics of his approach and casting doubt on his heroic image. The senior disciple confronts Sumu, warning of future retribution for his actions. Another member of the group is visibly aggravated by their rival's nonchalance and challenges him, as Sumu smugly invites them to guess his true intentions. Confronted in a rice shop, Sumu is thanked by a young man for his previous actions, despite others escaping. Sumu nonchalantly accepts thanks, and when concerns of retribution from the Lingxiao sect are raised, he reassures the young man not to worry. In the bustling street, Sumu leaves the rice shop, accepting thanks from a young man, while another individual expresses concern about potential retaliation. Sumu reassures him with a smile, advising caution with a playful ease. Relieved, the young man relaxes, grateful for not having to stress over provisions. Meanwhile, Sumu remarks on his uneventful journey, noting the absence of an ambush, and acknowledges his successful return to the Lingxiao sect. Outside the Lingxiao sect, Sumu contemplates the absence of an ambush and remarks about the untapped potential of the sect's disciple. The young man acknowledges that he must quickly improve his abilities to face any future challenges. After obtaining a powerful technique, the disciple feels the exhaustion of daily rigorous training and questions the mundane repetition of his routine. Considering the options, he contemplates the benefits of rest, deciding that constant training isn't the sole path forward. There's value in strategic patience. Feeling drained from training, the disciple debates the necessity of rest and the wisdom of the saying, "Well begun is half done." Bolstered by this insight, he energizes himself, ready to continue. The disciple reflects on the progression of his training manual, the imposing golden body, acknowledging the completed pages on foundation and conditioning. With anticipation, he turns to the next page, revealing a new aspect of his journey, the tempered body. Based on guidance from a black book, the disciple realizes he needs additional resources for effective training. Though he has the vessel, he lacks the necessary herbs and reflects on the varying quantities needed for different phases of his regimen. The disciple identifies 2 rare but poisonous herbs required for his regimen, noting their scarcity and the challenges they pose to humans. He considers the difficulty and cost of obtaining them, contemplating the luxurious lifestyle such an undertaking demands. The disciple decides to search for the rare herbs in the Heifeng mountain range, which is conveniently close by. With the location set, he resolves to begin his quest the next day. At dawn, Yang Kai trained in striking and footwork according to the tempered body book. The young Yang Kai swept the floor in the contribution hall. Manager Meng casually tossed a notebook over to Yang Kai. Yang Kai obtains a notebook detailing various herbs, their effects, and growth locations. He goes to the management office of the sect's Leafy East to get a leave of absence approved for 3 days. Prepared for his journey, he eagerly anticipates the time to pick herbs. Gazing at Haifeng Mountain, Yang Kai relishes the familiar breeze, embarking on his herb-picking endeavor with familiar comfort. Yang Kai successfully finds sharp fang grass. While collecting another herb, he struggles, noting its resistance. Venturing deeper, Yang Kai stumbles upon a vast, empty expanse, puzzled by its stark contrast to the surrounding lushness. Yang Kai recognizes a type of grass and consults his notebook, confirming it's the plant he's seen before. He discovers wilted grass, a key herb he has been searching for, and joyfully collects it. Exhausted from his journey, Yang Kai decides to sleep under the stars, contemplating a tree stump as his makeshift bed for the night. At sunrise, Yang Kai resumes his quest for herbs, while a figure watches him from afar, covering their mouth to withhold surprise or laughter. A famished Yang Kai laments his unsuccessful hunting, regretting not bringing more food. Suddenly, he notices smoke in the distance, piquing his curiosity about its source. Yang Kai spots a fire in the wilderness and wonders if it's the act of an inexperienced person or a veteran. Upon investigating, he finds someone and calls out, "Who's there?"